We saw how BIOS works, we saw what is a RAM, and we also saw what is a motherboard. Just think of it, when you switch on a computer, the motherboard has a flash memory. The flash memory is where the BIOS resides. Now, BIOS is also a piece of software. So its task is to configure your machine's load, preferably the booting part of it. So there is a place where you can actually change the configuration in BIOS to say this hard disk has the booting operating system. So let's say you have two hard disks, but you can just go and configure that this hard disk has a Windows and this has Linux, but I want Windows to be loaded. So that once it's been configured, so once you power on your computer, the BIOS performs some post operations, and then it chose the disk that we configured. So the OS in that disk is being loaded in the RAM. Now, most preferably the kernel, right? The kernel that we spoke about, which is the most critical part of your OS, which is the Windows or the Linux OS. So that kernel will always reside in RAM because you're using your machine constantly, and kernel is what talks to the devices, writes into the storage device. So that's the critical part of it. Unless it's running, you can't actually do any of these. So think of it again. That's why kernel has to run into the RAM all the time.